What's going on, you guys? My name is Russell, and you're watching The Bible Man. If you're new to this channel and like the content I make here, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on all notifications for any future updates here on my channel. And if you feel like supporting me in any way, shape, or form, you're welcome to go ahead and do so. Links are in the description box below. And there you can support me on Patreon. On to today's video. So, by the thumbnail, you're probably already saying, I don't want to watch this. This is too depressing, or this is too negative. But hear me out. I am going to try to come at this from a biblical point of view. The title, as you already know, most women are going to be single by 2030. So this was a study I've been working on. First, let me come off the get-go and say this. Majority of the reason why women are holding most job positions in the workforce, from leadership to getting more promotions to having higher college degrees to having more opportunities in workforce and industries and etc. Ultimately that's because the responsibility is basically falls back on the man. It's the man's fault that the woman is in this situation to begin with. It's the man's fault that women are put into that situation. The men are being lazy, the men are being complacent with their decision to move up, and as a result, the men who want to move up aren't given the shot to move up because the opportunities that are in front of them are given to the men. So it's like 50-50, while the men who are lazy are screwing things up for everybody else, and women are taking up the mantle and doing everything the man can't do. And then you got a group of men like myself that want to move up, but those positions of leadership and promotions are given to the women instead, and they're more likely to give it to somebody like that than somebody like me. And that's a really common pattern because of previous generations of issues that happen in our culture. So the issue isn't that the female is independent, or the issue isn't that she's working, or isn't the fact that she's self-sufficient and does everything by herself. It's the mindset that comes with it. The mindset of, I can do everything by myself, so therefore I don't need a man to help me out. And that mindset warps your reality and perception of allowing a man into your life, to trust that man to be a part of your life. When you're doing everything by yourself, you're less likely to let people in and have a successful relationship. And that's why I'm going to make this video today. By 2030, 50% of women in the United States are going to be single and without a man. And 30% out of that 50% are going to be without kids for the rest of their life. Because you have thousands, if not millions of women who are independent, self-sufficient, already making double, if not triple, the amount of what men are making, because they're taking up a lot of the jobs in the workforce. They're seeking men who are making more than what they are. They're seeking men who make around $100,000 to $1 million a year, which is a very small percentage of men. And chances are that percentage of men don't even want them. Big investors that work for Wall Street started preparations for the next generation and preparing for the decline of children and a drop in U.S. population of people because of the lack of children that's going to be born, because of the choices we made here in the past 2 generations. they believe there's going to be a big drop in the population here in the United States. The outrageous standards and expectations put on modern dating. No one understands how relationships, friendships, and marriage works these days, and as a result, relationships are falling apart more now than ever. I can't speak on behalf of all women because I'm not a woman. And I can't speak on behalf of all women or of all men because this data is conducted by the World Census and multiple different surveys conducted by mostly universities. But it is something I have seen time and time again. But this is something that is true. Majority of men, between 45 to 50% of men in the past 2 years have been leaving the United States and pursuing women in places like Peru, the Philippines, China, Russia, Asia, Middle Eastern countries like Jerusalem, Philistine, Iran, for a long-term relationship because they have a better grasp of relationships than we do. And that's why many people are turning away from relationships here in the West, because we don't understand what it means to have a successful relationship, because we have these outrageous standards, we have these outrageous expectations. We're too afraid of conflict. We're too afraid to compromise. We're too afraid to do anything to keep a relationship together with one person for the rest of our lives. It comes to a point where people just don't want to face the reality that dating in the United States is broken and lost. But the reality is the system that has been put in play and has been forced on women because men were too lazy and too complacent to pick up the slack and be good men, good leading men in the relationship, where women can actually trust a man to let them into their lives. And that's something I'm more than willing to do. The issue isn't that the woman works. The issue isn't that the man works, or the issue isn't that the man works and the woman works. The issue is the lack of trust, the lack of communication, the lack of willing to compromise and commit. You can work, both partners can work, but it's when your outrageous standards and expectations destroy the relationship. If the woman is already making $90,000 a year and the man's making less than $50,000 a year, that shouldn't be a reason in the relationship. That should be a reason to be empathetic and understanding to each other's situations. The man should be empathetic to the women, and the women should be empathetic to the man. And that's a reason why you guys should be able to pitch in on the bills instead of fighting whoever makes more, or fighting over, I want a man who makes more. This should be a reason why the woman and the man should pitch in on bills so they can live a happier and healthier life. There should be a point in a relationship where you guys get together and talk about different issues and grow from those issues, but also compromise on certain things to grow and mature in your time and while y'all together. God has brought so much freedom for us to have faith in Him here in the United States. And what we have done with that freedom, we have destroyed the most precious gift God has given us, and that's the gift of marriage. Marriage is a gift. And the moment we understand marriage, the moment we grasp how much of a gift marriage is the moment we can come together and have a successful marriage by learning to do these things. Marriage is so precious and so wonderful, but a lot of people don't see it. A lot of people don't understand it, and a lot of people aren't willing to turn to that or compromise or willing to have a successful marriage, because they fall apart through their own pride and ego before they even get the chance to experience marriage. I want to try to break this cycle, and we could probably do this together. Let's not allow the fact that the women are holding majority of the leadership and promotions and places in the workforce. Let's not try to use that as an excuse that you're independent and self-sufficient and you have that mentality of you can do everything yourself as a reason why you should never trust somebody to come into your life and to be a part of your life. Let that be a way you can prepare yourself for marriage. Use the tools God has given you to allow certain people into your life using proper time management skills to meet people now that you have money, and allow God to speak through you, through your spirit, through His Spirit that He has given you, to meet the person He wants you to be with. If you're making $90,000 a year and the man's making $25,000 a year or less, y'all can come together and live a great life. You don't need a successful career. You don't need to wait to have a successful career. You don't need to wait to go to college to get ready for marriage. You can prepare for marriage by meeting people in your life while you're going to that, while you're working on that, while you're pursuing your career, while you're pursuing college, while you're pursuing better opportunities. You can have somebody in your life while you have these things, and it will be easier and better for the both of you, because you can experience what it means to build trust, build loyalty, build communication skills, build the ability to learn what it means to be empathetic and understanding to each other's situations. And that only happens through experience. This experience is necessary for growth to have a successful relationship. And I feel like because of the lack of these skills, a lot of people are failing to have a successful relationship these days. Because a lot of women are waiting until they get their career, finish college or get their career, and waiting until they're like 30, 35, 37, 46, or even 50 to find somebody to settle down with. And by then, it's too late. It's too late. A man wants a woman who wants to compromise, but majority of the women, by the time they're 30, they're less viable because they don't have the ability to produce eggs or produce babies as well as they did in the early 20s. And that's just science. The older they get, the less of a chance they have to have a baby. Now, that's just one of the reasons. Another reason is we can look at this from the world's point of view. The world's point of view, you can actually say, well, the world, if you're 30 and never had a relationship, from a world's point of view, a man can look at that and say, well, if you're 30, never been in a relationship before, and now you're looking for a relationship before, how do I know you weren't just sleeping around with a bunch of men? Decide to live your best life now, party, live it up, drink alcohol, sleep around. I don't want nothing to do with that. And I know for sure if a Christian man wants nothing to do with that, because we value purity. We value loyalty. We value self-respect in individuals. That individuals holds themselves with self-respect. We value integrity. These are just examples of why relationships are failing in the United States. We can fix this. But it's up to both people, both the man and woman, to work together to work on that. I don't know. I just wanted to give my thoughts and opinion on this stuff. My name is Russell, guys. It's been excellent talking to you guys about this stuff. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on all notifications for any future updates here on my channel. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Russell, and you're watching The Bible Man.